Hey everyone, hope you're all doing great. Welcome back to the Anime Fictions 2.0. Today, we're diving into another exciting What If Naruto Rise of Lord of the Foxes. If you're enjoying these alternate timelines, make sure to hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends, and check out the other videos on the channel. And of course, drop your thoughts in the comments. I always love hearing your ideas. Alright, enough talk, let's get into the story. The fight was over and the two warriors lay on the ground covered in blood and dirt in the depth of the Valley of the End. Uzumaki Naruto was face down on one side while his opponent Uchiha Sasuke was down on the other. Both combatants were out of chakra and had almost no strength to blink, much less move. Almost no strength. Naruto got up slowly from the ground and looked up at Sasuke with blurry vision, finding the pain from the Chidori to his chest so great he nearly blacked out after the third blink. As the blonde-haired boy walked towards his friend, who had some blood on his lip, cuts, bruises, and a scar on his diagonal cheek as long as the boy's right index finger. A little banged up, but nothing life-threatening, thought Naruto, holding his whole covered chest as he got closer to his former teammate. It even hurts to produce a small smile. Not far watching the two boys, Hatake Kakashi scowled at his supposed dead son of a student and demon container of the monster that killed his sensei. Look at him all smug, thinking he can just do that to an Uchiha prodigy. Not only that, but Konoha's Uchiha prodigy no less. The stupid demon thinks he is so great for beating Sasuke. I don't know why Jiraiya taught him that A-class technique and not Sasuke. If anything, Sasuke would be the one to perfect it using his given affinities if given the chance. I'll ask the council to petition the Sannin to teach it to Sasuke, thought Kakashi, observing his two students only to see Naruto pick Sasuke up and onto the good side of his back with his one good arm. Kakashi's eyes widened as he saw the hole in Naruto's chest had slowly stopped bleeding and the hole was now generating skin cells. Come on, time, let's head back to Konoha so we can get patched up and I can fulfill my promise to Sakura-chan, said Naruto, trying his best to keep himself steady along with the Uchiha on his back. Well, do you know the kid actually beat Sasuke? Just like he did with Sabaka no Gaara during the invasion, said Pakin, clearly impressed next to his signed contractor. Kakashi, however, narrowed his eye at Naruto for taking what he felt belonged to Sasuke, since he had believed it was Sasuke who defeated Gaara, not the Kyuubi vessel. He has to be killed. He's become too powerful as it is. If he were to unleash his true power, the demon fox would undoubtedly come back to Konoha to kill us all. We wouldn't be able to hold off another demon incursion from Kyuubi like we did with Erasure, sealing it away into that human form, thought Kakashi before making his decision, and went through the necessary hand signs, gaining his canine companion's interest. Whoa! Kakashi, what are you doing? Why are you doing hand signs for A? Said a now surprised Pakin, only for Kakashi to mentally end the summons and make the dog soon go poof. Man, Sasuke, when we get home and healed, we're going to get that seal off you from that snake team, and then I'm taking you to get some ramen to celebrate, said Naruto, looking over at a head slumped down and unconscious Uchiha Sasuke. He barely saw Kakashi come at him with the Chidori when he turned to face forward when the sound of 1,000 birds chirping entered his eardrums. Chidori! Yelled Kakashi, plunging his lightning-covered fist into Naruto's good side with the impact freeing Sasuke from his grasp, sending the Uchiha flying several feet back onto rock-hard ground. K Kakashi-sensei? WY? Said Naruto after Kakashi pulled his bloodied hand out, wondering why his Jounin teacher had attacked just after all that had happened with him and Sasuke. Why? Why not? Listen to me, Naruto, I'm not going to continue this charade with you anymore, Kyuubi. I'm tired of you keeping Sasuke down. You are the reason Sasuke does not get the recognition he deserves. You are the reason Sasuke sees himself so inferior to his older brother and can't reach the next level of Sharingan. When I kill you and Sasuke wakes up, I'll simply tell him I saw him kill you, thus giving Sasuke the ultimate form of his Sharingan, said Kakashi, looking at Sasuke's unconscious form before scowling back down at Naruto. Why you would kill me just F for S, Sasuke? W, what about W, what you S said at the M Memorial S Stone? Said Naruto, the life slowly fading from his eyes as he tried to hang on. What I said doesn't apply to you since you are a demon. Demons do not get the honor of being on that memorial stone, and the only thing you are going to get is a party in honor of your death when I report back to Tsunade-sama of your untimely death at the hands of a cursed seal influenced by Uchiha Sasuke. Naturally, I will be the necessary witness to the end of your concluded fight, and how before Sasuke passed out he came to his senses and in front of me in your name pledged his allegiance to Konoha once more, said Kakashi with a small sadistic grin on his face, though it couldn't be seen by the mask on his face. UT team loving B bastard. I hope W when you D die UG goes straight T to hell. W and YU do I'll BBW waiting for you A along with KQB to T to YU, S Sasuke. And every other piece O of shit T that F follows you A new A asshole the S size of this V valley, said Naruto, spitting some blood on Kakashi's sandals, making the white-haired Jounin scowl even more at the boy. In response to Naruto's spitting blood, Kakashi hit Naruto hard with a power kick to the ribs, breaking several of them as the boy crashed into a rocky wall, breaking his back in the process. Earth style, rock slide jutsu, said Kakashi, moving to the wall and put his hand on the final sign and put his hand on the rocky side of the valley no less than 15 feet away from Naruto's fallen form. The rock along the wall of the valley shook and collapsed, falling towards Naruto in the form of soft earth and hard rock. If later looked upon, it would seem like it had simply been made from the two boys fighting each other with their own respectable skills and abilities. What Tsunade didn't know wouldn't hurt her in Kakashi's mind. This can't be happening. What about my promise to Sakura-chan? I can't die. I need to fulfill my dream of being Hokage and surpass all others. And in order to do that I need to live. I need to get stronger. I must get stronger, thought Naruto was trying to move only for the last of the rock slide to cover him in rock and dirt. What Naruto didn't know was that someone had heard his mental cries. With his task done, Kakashi walked away from the falling earth, not caring to look back as he picked up Sasuke and headed for Konoha to bring back the news that everyone was no doubt waiting to hear. It was around that time that it started to rain. Almost everyone, but I think they will get over it and quickly move on. After all, when the council revokes the third's law, when they hear the Kyuubi is dead, they'll forget about the demon easily, thought Kakashi, nodding mentally to himself at the logic of his thoughts as he headed home. Naruto's mindscape. As Naruto's vision, stained with his own blood, fell to the darkness created by the rock and earth that was upon him, the Kyuubi in him stirred within his cage. During the battle, the demon fox had been watching the two boys fight, and though the fox didn't like to admit it, the boy had a great deal of promise in him that he had thought was not there at all. Not many kids with an unruly demon inside of them could, with any training and any help from practically everyone, could have fought and won against another person like the Uchiha. A person who was the same age as Naruto, with a powerful bloodline and the exact opposite form of life than the other in terms of being raised, taught the whole 9 yards. As the fox now stared at the form of Naruto within the boy's mind as he lay in the water, bloody, unconscious, and slowly dying, the demon fox made a decision that would in his mind change the very course of things in the future. Time to wake up, Kit. We have to talk before it's too late, and you decide to punch out of the job known as staying alive, said Kyuubi, sending what chakra he could to the boy without quickening his death. Slowly, as Naruto had awakened from his fight with Sasuke, so had he with Kyuubi, only this time the fox found that unlike before, there was no life in these eyes. They were without life, and had the boy not stopped to blink, Kyuubi would have thought the boy was dead. What do you want? Come to awaken me only to eat me before we die? Go ahead, I'm already dead, said Naruto, barely able to hear Kyuubi despite the superior hearing. I'm not here to eat your Kit. I've come to help you in your greatest time of need, when all others wouldn't even lift their flesh-ratted hands to point and call for help, said Kyuubi, gaining the boy's attention if only slightly. Why? I'm weak. I may have beaten Sasuke, but I used your power to do it. Even with the curse seal that Sasuke had, it was cheating. If I were really strong, I could have taken Sasuke without your help and would have been able to dodge Kakashi's Chidori, said Naruto, frowning as he stared at the ground and the water before turning into a snarl and letting out a scream of frustration that had been kept in him for years. You have every right to hate that bastard of a teacher for betraying you for that runt of an Uchiha. Personally, the older of the two Uchiha brothers, Itachi I think it was, did me a favor in killing off most of the clan. After all, that was my purpose in heading to Konoha in the first place, said Kyuubi, getting Naruto's attention even more, and had the boy not blinked after a moment, the fox would have thought, yet again, that Naruto had died. You came to Konoha to kill the Uchiha clan? Why? Said Naruto, looking at the demon fox, which at the moment seemed to be concentrating on something. Now is not the time to discuss these things when you are so close to death, Kit, said Kyuubi, hoping the boy would leave it at that. He didn't. Hell no! You tell me right here, right now, or I'm not going to try and stay alive, thus killing you in the process when I die, said Naruto, as he had the direct source of his suffering now telling why he attacked Konoha when he did. Kyuubi, seeing no way to counter the boy, sighed and began to tell his vessel everything. Very well. As you know, with every clan a bloodline that when created comes from a single source. A single person having multiple mates branching out the bloodline like a tree that will eventually have more branches. However, the Uchiha clan did not simply have a member simply born with the Sharingan like everyone thinks they did. The first user and founder of the clan that was Uchiha Madara was not always an Uchiha. He was once a member of the Hyuga clan from the branch family as the degrading role as a servant for the main branch of the Hyuga family tree even though his skills in the arts of gentle fist were better than some of the main house members. However, it was also because of his fighting abilities being so good that they used that caged bird seal on him constantly as a constant reminder of his place in the clan. Even when he was doing his task the clan elders would use it on him just for kicks to see such a skilled servant bow to their whim. One day the man snapped and ran away from the clan only to run into the cave housing my sleeping form. The fool even tried to attack me in the hopes he could prove himself later on to others who would want his skills as a fighter to others, said Kyuubi smirking at remembering the results of that little one-sided fight that left the man near death. I take it that you being in me meant that the guy got his ass handed to him, said Naruto walking towards the fox and to the border in which the fox could reach him beyond the massive cage. Of course. I would have killed the man had I not felt a sliver of pity when I saw his eyes and knew the man wanted to prove himself to others and to rub it into the holier-than-thou Hyuga clan. I knew from his caged bird seal what part of the clan he belonged to and with an act of mercy for reasons I still don't understand I broke the caged bird seal with a stream of my chakra that I sent into him and to see that the Hyugas couldn't kill him I mutated his eyes into what are now the Sharingan, said Kyuubi remembering how the man was in awe at his newfound power. Man, those elders must have been super pissed, said Naruto smiling slightly wishing he could have seen the looks on those old fools. Correct, and they had every intention of killing him, but your Hokage simply told them that since his bloodline was now entirely different Madara could build his own. That is the single main reason why the Uchihas and Hyugas always seem to try and outdo the other. It's a contest of the old Hyuga blood vs the new mutated Uchiha version, said Kyuubi, seeing Naruto nod his head in understanding. Okay, I understand now about the whole rivalry between bloodlines, but what about me and you going on a rampage? Ah yes. As time went by I kept my eyes on the Uchiha clan just in case this went bad on me and Kami started pointing the finger at me. Damn all-knowing piece off, that's beside the point. The point is after a while I saw that the man I gave the Sharingan eyes to was a more evil individual than even me. He had passed on the evil on to all of his descendants though over the years had watered it down though they all inherited the arrogance that one gets from having a powerful bloodline. I felt I had to go to Konoha and remove the bloodline from their eyes whether they liked it or not. When I headed to them the head of the clan at the time appeared and hit me with a powerful genjutsu enhanced several times by his Sharingan eyes. It threw me into the rampage to Konoha that I am famous or rather infamous for, said Kyuubi knowing Naruto could piece the rest of this together since the rest as was always said was history. Naruto nodded his head also, understanding that the Uchihas didn't want to lose their precious bloodline so the head of the Uchiha clan interfered with Kyuubi's original intentions. You said you wanted to help me, but how can you help me now when I'm so close to death? Why should I even try to live when practically everyone in Konoha wants me dead because of you, said Naruto, his anger coming back to him full force at those idiots who mistreated him. I want to help you live again. For too long have I been a curse to you rather than a blessing that I should have been had the village council not been arrogant, said the Kyuubi having been awake just long enough to overhear their arguing over his vessel that fateful night before sleep took him. Flashback 12 years ago. We should kill the creature, said a council member with pink hair while getting cheers from the side that supported it while the other side yelled at them with poor Sarutobi in the middle of it all holding the infant in his arms not trusting the sleeping baby yet with anyone until he knew who to trust. Unfortunately, there were too few supporters who wanted to honor Arashi's dying wish. Now Haruno-san, let's not be hasty. The demon could be tamed in this form to be our perfect weapon. I have heard some rumors from Suna that their Kage is experimenting with the idea or will soon be with his soon-to-be child. Why not turn the creature into a lethal weapon that we can control with a snap of our fingers? Said Danzo, getting some of the group in front of him interested only for Sarutobi to put his foot down on the idea. Absolutely not. Need I remind all of you that Arisha wished this boy to be seen as a hero, who I remind you used as a sacrifice to seal the demon fox within his stomach. To kill the child, much less use him as a weapon for your own ambitions, goes against what my late successor died for, said the Sandaime, getting nodded support from the other council members that were Hyuga Hayashi, Abirame Shibi, and the old Ino Shikacho group. What are you, a bunch of demon lovers? Said Inuzuka, some growling at the opposition before looking at the baby, sending killer intent at it, hoping to kill the infant with it. However, Sarutobi had sensed it the moment she looked in his direction at Naruto and forcefully silenced her with his own before Tsume's own could do anything against the child. There will be none of that, Inuzuka. Try that again, and you will be in for a session with Ibiki, and we all know how he can treat those who have animal traits in them, said the Sandaime, making Tsume shiver in fear as she knew that when tortured by Ibiki your enhanced senses were not safe to have. What about the demon boy? Said Yasha Haruno, glaring at the child, though it would not be the last time that happened around the infant. You mean Arashi's son? Said Hayashi, getting looks of surprise and to a degree betrayal from the third, as though it was meant to be a secret. That demon is not the forced child, said Hamura Midokado, getting a very angry look from his former partner at saying such a thing. Oh? Who else would Arashu use to save us and the rest of the village from Kyuubi's wrath? Who better to trust this task with than his own son, said Shibi, seeing the logic behind Arashi's decision to use the boy that was his son. I don't care if he's the son of Kami, he's still a taint on our village, even if what you say is true about him being from the Kazama clan itself. I say that the demon child goes to the orphanage like all the others that lost their parents. Let them deal with the child. With any luck the demon will starve to death, said Yasha Haruno, smirking at the thought, but was silenced by the Akimichi of the Ino Shikacho opposition, as that was one of their worst nightmares to face for their clan. We will compromise. The boy will have his last name changed to Uzumaki, and will be put in the village orphanage until he is old enough to live on his own. Then when he is 16 years old he will then be told the truth and will receive all of his inheritance, and the necessary teachers to train him in his father's ways. How does that sound? Said Hayashi, as he looked at his fellow council members, who seemed to be in deep thought about it. Very well. 16 years old it is. But if that demon gets out of line even once Hokage-sama, he gets executed regardless of the reason, said Haruno, while mentally smirking, as all she had to do was tell a few hate-filled ANBU what she knew, and the kid would be dead within the hour. Even if he's defending himself? Said Shibi, sensing the ill will the pink-haired woman had for the infant. Why not? If we let it defend itself, it sends a poor message that we can't control the demon, said Tsume, though Shikaka shook his head in disagreement. No, it sends a message that we do not honor a hero's dying wish, and that ninjas can just bully the villagers no matter what. It would be a poor message sent by us that could make it hard to get potential clients in the future or favor from our own daimyo, said Shikaka, getting a nod from Shibi, knowing that they were on thin ice, as it was with the man after Toad Sannin was spotted near the man's wife's personal indoor hot spring 4 months ago. Flashback end. After that the Kyuubi could hear no more, as he could barely hold consciousness, and soon fell asleep in his cage. The sleep never lasted long though, as he only seemed to be awakening for a moment after several attacks on the boy's life that resulted in villagers and ninja being killed by a demonically enhanced child running on his subconsciousness and primal state, while under his influence. Still, in the end it proved to everyone that attacking the boy just proved useless and fatal to those who tried it, much to the annoyance of the council that wanted Naruto dead. Thanks, Kyuubi-sama. Aside from the old man Hokage, the old bat Tsunade, and Hinata-chan, you are the only one to earn my respect, said Naruto, bowing his head in gratitude towards the great fox demon. Hinata-chan? Why do you call her that and not like the other two? Said Kyuubi, only to see Naruto look at him with a small increase of color to his cheeks with life in his eyes yet again, as if her name was all that could. Well, I guess it's because she's always nice. Like when she wanted to help me in the Chunin exams, then during the prelims she gave me that healing cream, and then before my fight with Niji she told me she believed in me and cheered me on. Also, she doesn't hate me for holding you, even though she will one day when she learns the truth, just like everyone else will when they think I'm dead, said Naruto, with his face losing the color and his eyes becoming dead again, much to the disheartened look on Kyuubi's face. Don't be so sure. I've seen many things in my life and I know this. That girl has a love for you that not even Kami himself could break with all his power. Trust me, when you return to Konoha she will not betray you, said Kyuubi, only to see Naruto shaking his head at the last part. I'm not going back to Konoha. That place is filled with sinners, idiots, and corrupt fools that deserve to be devoured by the death god himself. said Naruto, wishing nothing more than to see the looks on their faces the day that happened, if ever. I didn't mean to go back right away. I meant return to Konoha in a few years after you've gotten strong enough to take back the honor that they stole from you, me, and the fourth Hokage, said the Kyuubi before his chakra manifested itself around his fox body before shrinking down into a somewhat human form. When the red chakra had cleared Naruto's vision, he saw a man with dark brown reddish hair. His hard-looking eyes were covered with a clear glass visor on his face, and the face itself, he noticed, had some small facial hair on the lower part of his face. "Is that your human form, Kyuubi?" said Naruto, half expecting ears and a tail to go with the black pants and dark brown reddish trench coat that seemed to be blowing in unforeseen winds. "Yes. In my many years I have traveled through the shinobi world even before some villages were first founded. When walking around in villages I knew that my larger form would frighten them and force them to either run or fight me. This form allows me to act more according to the ways of stealth that all the shinobis of the world pride themselves on having," said Kyuubi, walking out of the cage, scaring Naruto almost out of his mind. "Literally. How did you do that?" said Naruto, hoping that his demon guest didn't want to back out and simply possess his vessel's body. "I have always been able to do that, but only for a short time. It was how I was able to help you when you were younger, when you were attacked by villagers and ninja alike," said Kyuubi, getting an understanding nod, and now understood why the third had asked him if he remembered anything after the first attack on his life. "Oh, thank you again, Kyuubi-sama," said Naruto, bowing his head again to show his appreciation to the demon lord. "Don't call me that," said Kyuubi, his eyes hardening at the name everyone kept referring to him as if it was not his true name. Why?" said Naruto, not understanding. "Because that name is not my own. It is not a title I want, nor did I want in the first place, so I cannot be called that anymore. From this day forward you will call me by my true name," said the demon lord, his cape somehow getting slightly larger than before. "What is your true name?" said Naruto, wanting to know the fox's name so that maybe the two could be friends, or even, kami forbid, a family. "Since you asked, I will tell you. My name is Zangetsu," said Zangetsu, extending his hand towards Naruto, who in response and return took it. "Uzumaki Naruto," said Naruto, smiling at the taller figure, who gave his own. "For now I can't tell him his true heritage until later. If I were to tell him now, he wouldn't be able to cope with all that has happened, and with the people he hates back in Konoha. So for now I'll be quiet about his family legacy, if only for a little while longer," thought Zangetsu before wrapping his trench coat like chakra around Naruto, healing the wounds the battle had left behind. "So what now, Zangetsu-sama?" said Naruto as the two broke off the handshake and were now talking strategy. "We must kill all those who have wronged us, Naruto. From Sound Village to Akatsuki to those within Konoha itself. I must warn you though, Naruto, that should you do this there is no turning back from it, and those we swore to kill we must kill no matter how much they beg for their lives," said Zangetsu, as he did not want his vessel to get cold feet early on. "I understand, Zangetsu-sama," said Naruto, knowing that showing mercy to his enemies was beyond approach now, and that the only thing to do now was to unleash his hate upon the world. "The old Naruto is dead. In his place that rose from his grave at the Valley of the End is a new and improved Uzumaki Naruto. An Uzumaki Naruto, who is a blood-spilling killer, a foul mouth, and the toughest SOB around. You are going to be an Uzumaki Naruto who doesn't take shit from anybody. If someone so much as even looks at you the wrong way, you knock them on their ass and into the ground 6 feet under," said Zangetsu, his eyes glowing and his trench coat-like form now covered Naruto up to his neck. "From this day forward I pledge my loyalty to you, Zangetsu-sama, and all the knowledge you empower me with," said Naruto, bowing his head, knowing that his old life and dream were dead and that a new one was born in its place. To destroy everyone who had wronged him all his life. "Let the bloodbath begin," said Zangetsu, smiling at his protege, knowing they were in for one wild ride and their enemies were about to face their worst nightmare. Kami helps all their enemies because no one else will. Konoha during that time. The people of Konoha waited for the team to return, only to find that when they did they were worse for wear, and some needed to get medical attention right away. As the now battered up retrieval team came in, people were wondering what became of their prized Uchiha Sasuke and the demon Uzumaki Naruto. If the demon was dead, then a party was in order, but if the Uchiha was dead, then a grand funeral in his honor would have to be prepared for the Sharingan user. Do you think Sasuke-kun will be okay? Said Ino to Sakura, who waited for the return of their beloved Uchiha. Of course he is. I made Naruto Baka promise me he would return Sasuke-kun to me, and if he doesn't then I'll just kick the crap out of him for failing, said Sakura with her inner self fully agreeing with her outer version. Why you shouldn't be belittle and Naruto-kun like that. He always keeps his promises because it's his and Nindo, said Hinata, also waiting for her champion to return. But for her it wasn't the Uchiha everyone referred to. Her champion went by the name of Uzumaki Naruto. Soon one last figure came out of the shadows of the trees and into the village gates of Konoha that turned out to be none other than Kakashi holding a living, unconscious, and breathing Uchiha Sasuke in his arms. The crowd cheered as he rushed past, and even more when they noticed that Uzumaki Naruto was not with the group, meaning he was dead or dying from fatal injuries. For the people living in the village hidden in the leaf, whether you were a ninja or just simply a villager, it was a double victory by their standards. While Sakura and Ino cheered about how Sasuke had returned, Hinata was devastated by the ordeal, knowing she would never be able to tell the boy she had looked up to how she felt. Naruto-kun is gone. But he can't be gone. Naruto-kun has to become Hokage like he always wanted. He has to achieve his dream, thought Hinata, her eyes flowing with tears as she fell to her knees crying her heart out at the loss that had been delivered to it. Come on Hinata, lighten up. So what if Naruto Baka is gone? Sasuke is back, and if you are nice we will let you join us in rebuilding the Uchiha clan with him, said Sakura, as she looked over at Hinata wondering how the girl could love the ramen addict so much. Yeah. Good riddance. Sure, he made people laugh, but compared to Sasuke-kun, Naruto is just leftovers you feed to a sick dog in the alleyway, said Ino, not realizing what she said had created a major impact in the Hyuga girl's heart. And it was not good for Pinky or Blonde if the Hyuga girl had any say in the matter. Before any more words could be said about either Sasuke or Naruto, a very worried-looking Tsunade came through the crowd, hoping her adopted little brother was all right. Kakashi, where is Naruto? Said Tsunade, not seeing him with the group or with the copycat ninja. Tsunade-sama, I'm sorry to tell you this, but Naruto is dead. Sasuke killed him with a chidori to the chest while in a psychotic episode brought on by the cursed seal, said Kakashi, knowing that was the most believable scenario that could have happened during the fighting. What? Said Tsunade, her shock hitting her heart, and yet for some reason she felt that something was off, and her woman's intuition that had never failed her, especially around Jiraiya, was telling her to probe deeper. As I said, Tsunade-sama, Naruto was killed by a chidori, which I had taught to Sasuke for the Chunin exams in order to fight and win against Sabaka no Gaara, said Kakashi, giving Sasuke to a medic ninja who went right to work on the boy's injuries. As if that weakling could ever defeat me, said Gaara, eyes Kakashi with suspicion, while his demon was whispering how the man spelled hate for his brethren and that he had Naruto's blood mixed with the Uchihas in his hands. I suggest you watch your mouth, Sabaka no Gaara, as you will not find welcome to those who disrespect the Uchiha clan, said Kakashi, not liking the tone in the young red-haired brat's voice. Because what I say is true, Hataki-san. Is it because you don't want me to tell the others just who beat me during the invasion of Konoha? The only one to earn my respect was the person who defeated me in combat, and his name is not Uchiha Sasuke, said Gaara, glaring at the Jounin, who in turn glared back. That's not what the report I was handed says, said Kakashi, wishing this thing like the Kyuubi would just die. Then your council falsified documents, as I was there and I know who beat me. It was Uzumaki Naruto who beat me. Not that runt of an Uchiha you praise right now, despite him being a traitor, said Gaara, getting shocked looks from everyone, though some were more of a look of disbelief than surprise. Liar! Naruto Baka couldn't fight his way out of a Wet Academy test, said Sakura, getting several laughs from the crowd as the test scores had been made public every time the boy failed. They would have laughed more had Gaara-san popped out of his gourd and grabbed Sakura before slamming her into a nearby tree. When it comes to fighting strong, worthy opponents, I do not like you pink-haired whore, said Gaara, letting out a great deal of killer intent at everyone, shutting up their cries for the leaf ninja around them to kill him. As for Ino herself, she was going to retaliate to avenge her friend Sakura, but she was soon knocked out from behind by Hinata, who couldn't stand by and watch Naruto's name be driven through the mud while the Uchiha was polished like it was a rare jewel. If what you say is true, Hataki, about Naruto being dead, then I will need the one thing I gave him back, said Tsunade, who after watching that little argument between Gaara and Kakashi wasn't so sure of the man's story about how Naruto died. What is that, Hokage-sama? said Kakashi, slightly surprised that the Hokage gave the demon anything at all to hold on to. Wrong answer. Liar! Yelled Tsunade, punching the man through a wall, shocking everyone who saw her do it. Tsunade-sama, why did you do that? Said Tenten, shocked that the woman punched the book-reading pervert. If Naruto died as Kakashi claimed he did, then Naruto was face up or face down, but to confirm he was dead, Kakashi would have turned him over for the latter and seen he was wearing my necklace. If what Kakashi says is true, then Naruto would have wanted him to take the necklace I gave him back to me. The very fact that Kakashi does not have it means he's not telling the whole truth, said Tsunade, fuming at the man she had sent into near unconsciousness as he stumbled out from the wall he was sent through. Must enhanced senses from Shikaku tell me he has Naruto's blood stain on his right arm, just like the Uchiha, in the same fashion. He also had some dried blood from Naruto on his foot, meaning he was in front of Naruto when he supposedly died. This leads to me to conclude Kakashi could have taken Naruto back with him along with the weakling of an Uchiha too, said Gaara, his face turning into a hateful glare at the now wobbling one-eyed Jounin. You mean Naruto-kun's own sensei killed him? Said Temari, thinking back to how the boy she as well as Hinata had come to admire for taking on her brother and winning. Just when she thought she found a potential boyfriend who would respect her, and yet not be afraid of Garad, boy's own sensei snuffs his life out like blowing out a candle. Sadly, it would appear that Temari is just like in Suna when I was child, and Naruto has received no love from where he was born. Unlike me, he never had any type of shield to protect him from harm. Tsunade. The new alliance between Suna and Konoha is officially over, as I cannot ally with a village that shuns their heroes for traitors like the Uchiha. It is a madness I do not want my family or my village involved in, said Gaara, turning to walk away with Kankuro and Temari right behind him. To think of all the people in this village, Naruto was the only good soul around, said Kankuro, shaking his head, who had helped his brother change completely in personality. To the three Suna siblings, Naruto was an angel in a place filled with sinners. Gaara-sama, please wait, said Tsunade, but the three were gone before she could stop them any further. Good riddance. Another demon in this village is the last thing we need, said a villager, getting several nods from the other people around him only to be silent with his head exploding from a punch to his head by an enraged Tsunade. Hokage's office moments later. After what she heard the villagers say, Tsunade couldn't stand to see or hear the people of this place talk about Naruto like they did. Even now they were celebrating in the streets, shooting off fireworks into the sky. Tsunade figured that they had been saving them for just this sort of occasion, for when Naruto would one day die on a deadly mission like this. However, she imagined they would use the excuse of the Uchiha being rescued as their reason for celebrating such a successful mission. Had it not been for the rain that was starting to come down, Tsunade imagined that there would be more fireworks shooting into the sky right about now. Drinking sake to stabilize her own grief, Tsunade had left Shizen in charge of Konoha's hospital from top to bottom. She had even told Shizen that if any of the doctors or the nurses were caught celebrating Naruto's death, she could kill them without question. Since they were the most experienced in medicine, they could always train more people outside the village to work here to keep the level of arrogance down. By that point, Jiraiya appeared looking grim, having heard the news from the crowd and what his stupid apprentice had been through with his old Team 7 sensei. Tsunade, I know you don't want to hear this, but despite the loss you have to stay as Hokage. If you don't, the leaf will fall into some worse times if you are not, and there are still people in Konoha that were still precious to Naruto before he died. If you decide to leave now, you will abandon all those that still care for him and leave them in the care of those who do not have their best interest at heart, said Jiraiya, wondering if it was a curse that had been on him when it came to taking on apprentices. It won't matter when the council revokes the Third's law on Naruto, telling them that he was really a demon in human skin. They won't care about him anymore and may even join in on the celebration. Erasure was so stupid when he decided to save these ingrates he called his precious people, said Tsunade, slamming a fist down on the wooden and now slightly cracked table before letting out her cries and tears as only she could with Jiraiya to hold her. Let it out, Tsunade, I'm here. I know you think of me as nothing but a sleazy pervert all the time, but I did care about Naruto. I saw a lot of potential in him that I only saw in the fourth when I trained him to be what he was when he took the title of Hokage. Maybe when we finally die of old age and we see him again, we will have our chance to say what we should have said earlier, said Jiraiya, holding the woman tighter in his arms to try and calm her shivering form. I'm sorry, Naruto. I'm so sorry, said Tsunade, clinging to Jiraiya, who nodded his head knowing those were the simple words they both would have to say in the afterlife when the time came. "Tsunade," I said Jiraiya, but was stopped when he sensed it, as did Tsunade, and both opened their eyes wide with fear at what they were sensing. Quickly they rushed to the window to see what they felt was also visible from their room, and found to their horror that it most certainly was. From the windows of the Hokage's office, Tsunade, Jiraiya, and basically every other place in the elemental countries saw a spinning tower of demonic chakra shooting up towards the sky. "What in the name of Kami?" said Tsunade as her heart gripped with fear at what was happening outside where Naruto apparently died. The doors in her office immediately swung open and the council members came in, each looking as pale as the others of their group. "Hokage-sama, what is going on? We thought that the demon died just like Kakashi said he did?" said Yasha Haruno, finding that the second greatest day of her life was now turning into a horrible dream. "Get me Kakashi in here now. He said Naruto died and he's going to tell us how he did," said Tsunade, wanting an explanation from the traitorous man, who was no better than Itachi. Fortunately, Kakashi appeared seconds later, scared out of his mind, and Tsunade couldn't help but smirk at his reaction to the sight and sense of the demon fox's chakra towering into the heavens in the distance. "Hokage-sama," said Kakashi, only to be cut off by Tsunade when she ran at him, grabbed him by the throat, and slammed him into a nearby wall. "Tsunade-sama, put that ninja down now. He is a hero of this village and responsible for the death of Kyuubi," said Danzo in protest, only to be silenced by a venomous glare. "Shut up. Now Kakashi, you are going to tell me how you killed Naruto before you left, or I'll cut you up piece by piece with such precision that not even Orochimaru could put you back together for a future experiment," said Tsunade, squeezing the man's throat tighter to make sure he got the point. "He did. Hokage-sama, I killed Naruto with A's second Shichidori T to his chest, knowing that A after Sasuke had already given him 0-1 in their fight, and I knew he couldn't withstand Anotherone," said Kakashi, trying to free himself from the woman's incredible grip. "Anything else you neglected to mention? Like how you left him before he died?" said Tsunade, giving the man a hard punch to the gut, making the man let out a scream in pain. "And Naruto is still alive after the attack I hit him with, and 2 kicked I might have kicked him into the cavern while at the V Valley of the NB before using my rock slide jutsu Toto bury him beneath the earth," said Kakashi, hoping she wouldn't punch him again, and for a moment, when she didn't, he felt some relief. Before she made him scream in even more pain, and she kneed him in the groin hard. "There is still a chance that he is alive," said Tsunade, clinging to the hope that the boy was still very much alive. "If he is alive, we should kill him before he seeks to take on us at full strength to get his revenge for abusing his human form. Danzo, get all the ANBU that you can and send a strike team after the demon and kill him without question," said Yasha Haruno, only to be silenced by the killer intent Tsunade generate around them, with Jiraiya diving behind her desk and waiting for the worst of the soon-to-be slaughter to be over. "She was never this mad when I was caught peeping at her through her window that one full moon 15 years ago. Sure, she beat the crap out of me and I was in the hospital for a good 3 months. But this is nuts," thought Jiraiya as he almost wished the Kyuubi would come and kill them all. Tsunade would have in fact killed them all had it been for the ominous roar they heard many miles away that brought them back to the present. The great primal sound echoed into Konoha, creating shockwaves that destroyed several homes and businesses. Demonic red lightning struck several places around Konoha, destroying them instantly from the sheer intensity of them, causing some panic in the streets. "Oh Kami! Are you doing this, Naruto? Or are you letting the Kyuubi out as punishment for failing Erasure?" thought Tsunade, looked at the window only to see the same towering demonic chakra, only now she saw red lighting shooting around it from the cloudy sky and around Konoha as the rain dropped at a heavier pace. One even struck the facial form on the Hokage monument that was first Hokage, causing the chunks of rock to fall onto the homes of the populace below. "Tsunade, what are?" said Jiraiya, only to be interrupted by the busted woman. "Send the ANBU. Tell them to find Naruto, and if possible bring him back alive and unharmed. If not," said Tsunade, but didn't have the heart to speak it. "I'll go with them," said Jiraiya before glaring at the council members and a still on the ground Kakashi before leaving in poof of smoke. Hyuga compound. While this happened, Hinata had run home with tears in her eyes and her heart shattered to pieces at learning that Naruto was dead and she had not confessed her feelings for him. "It's not fair. Why can't I be strong like Naruto-kun? If I had, then I would have told him how I feel, Then maybe he would have returned my feelings and then, thought Hinata, who couldn't help but blush at the fantasy of being along with her love and kissing him regardless of what others thought. There was a slight knock at her door, and Hyuga Hayashi stepped in to see his daughter with tears in her eyes and tried to remove the ruffles on her ninja jacket to look nice in front of her father. "Hello, Hinata. I see you have heard the horrible news about Naruto-san's untimely death at the hands of his own sensei," said Hayashi, who would have taken care of the boy himself if it didn't create problems for him with his own family, and those that opposed the idea altogether. "Why, father? Why did Kakashi-san kill Naruto-kun? His own student? Naruto-kun was never cruel to anyone and didn't deserve such betrayal." "Why?" said Hinata after she ran to her father, and cried as he held her in his arms, not even realizing that she didn't even stutter when she spoke. "Hinata, what I'm about to tell you must stay between us for now. It's an S-class secret of the village made by the third Hokage. However, if the council has its way, they will most likely revoke the law now that Naruto is deceased," said Hayashi, doing his best to comfort his crying daughter. Damn those clan elders and their traditions, thought Hayashi, as they wanted Hinata to be a part of the branch family with Niji so his little girl couldn't become clan head and remove the caged bird seal. What S-class S secret? What D does it have T to do with and Naruto-kun? Said Hinata, as she looked up at her father with puffy bloodshot eyes. "Hinata, do you know the birthday of Uzumaki Naruto?" said Hayashi, walking his daughter over to her bed where they both sat down. "Why yes, father. And Naruto-kun's birthday is October 10th, which is T the same D-day as the Kyuubi was killed by T the 4th Hokage," said Hinata, as she thought that if her birthday was on something that great she would be happy about it, but when she saw Naruto on his birthday last year he was always depressed. "Hinata, the truth is that Kyuubi never died. It was sealed away by the 4th Hokage into an infant that had just recently been born. That child Hinata was," said Hayashi, but was interrupted by Hinata, whose eyes were wide with shock. "Naruto. It was Naruto-kun, the 4th Hokage, who sealed Kyuubi into. That's the reason why people hate him and try to throw him out of places when he's not around others he trusts. Why I can feel their killer intent aimed at him on his birthday, and why he never went to the festival at night," said Hinata, looking at her father, who sadly nodded to her before she threw herself around him yet again. "Hinata, I want you to know that Naruto is not the fox demon that everyone thinks he is, despite their own fear and arrogance that plagues them. Naruto is still the boy that you love, and if he were still alive I would have given my blessing to pursue a relationship with him in the future," said Hayashi, getting a surprised look from his daughter, who blushed at the thought only for it to vanish and more tears came to mind. "Damn. I helped and screwed up at the same time," thought Hayashi, who continued to try and calm his daughter by stroking her hair. "Father, can we go see Niji and I-san at the H hospital?" said Hinata, hoping that seeing someone she cares about being alive could help ease the pain, though in her mind she knew the pain would always be an open wound that would never close. After a while they exited the Hyuga compound, only for both of them to see as well as feel the immense demonic chakra in the distance, and soon a great primal roar was heard echoing in the distance from them from the tower of chakra that followed. "What power?" thought Hayashi, amazed at the power that was held in the Kyuubi, and at this point began to fully realize why the boy was to be considered a hero. The power leading into the heavens, though far away, was clearly a power that could rival the gods, and it had been contained by a 12-year-old boy. A boy that almost everyone in the village had shunned or hated during that time, and because of such hate Naruto may just become a self-fulfilled prophecy that would destroy everything and everyone in his path. Almost everyone. Naruto-kun, thought Hinata, was wondering about her father's words and what he said to her about Naruto not being a demon, and thought back to what she knew of Naruto. The boy was never cruel to others. He always encouraged those close to him to do better whether they failed or not. If Naruto truly had been a demon, he would have killed the Leaf Village long ago, when the Sandaime was still alive. "He's not a demon," said Hinata in a whisper, but the words had strength in them that Hayashi, despite being afraid at the sight before, couldn't help but find some relief in his daughter's words. "It's good to know that your feelings haven't changed for him, Hinata. However, to ensure that both you and your sister are safe, I need you to head back into the Hyuga compound and wait for me to return," said Hayashi, who got a nod from his shy little Hinata as she bowed her head and left him to take care of dangerous matters. Matters that may involve her Naruto-kun. No matter what, I will always love you and you alone, Naruto-kun, and should you know when you decide to come back, I'll be waiting for you, thought Hinata, walking back into the Hyuga compound to inform her sister of the news, who she imagined was now scared out of her mind from sensing what Hinata already did with the Suna siblings. Gaara had never known the true meaning of fearing death, but when he sensed a massive wave of the Kyuubi's chakra and the roar that came later on, he felt that this demon was the perfect definition of it. As he looked back, Gaara realized that Naruto may not be as dead as his traitorous sensei claimed he was, or that the fox was free and looking to get a little payback for the abuse his vessel received over the years. Let us hurry to Suna. We have preparations to prepare for should the leaf survive, and we need to make sure that all those that were Naruto's friends outside of the leaf know the truth of what happened to him, said Gaara, seeing the clearly pale look on Temari's face and Kankuro's sweaty palms that looked like they had been soaking in a lake. Yes, brother, said Temari and Kankuro, knowing that when the shit hit, or rather if it hit the fan, they wanted to be as far away from it as possible. Even if the demon inside Naruto didn't go after Konoha, or that Naruto was alive, once the word got out what happened with him and the leaf, the things were going to become hectic. In the eyes of the Suna sibling, the sins of the people in Konoha could not go on without them being punished for it. At the Valley of the End several hours later, the spinning tower of demonic chakra had practically consumed the Valley of the End, covering it in Zangetsu's massive demonic essence. Combined with his vessel's emotions of pain, suffering, and betrayal, well, let's just say life had no chance of hell growing in this place, even if the first Hokage tried to make it happen. The intense amount of demonic chakra that Zangetsu released felt invigorating to Naruto rather than a burden. Unlike the other times Naruto called on the fox's power, the two were never acting in perfect unison, thus causing problems for the boy. Now handling the demonic fox's chakra in a perfect blend with his own, though extremely difficult, was in fact running quite smoothly. Naruto could feel himself physically changing as he embraced this demonic influence given by Zangetsu, who channeled the chakra with Naruto to make the changes perfect. The first thing he had to do was to make Naruto taller, since the kid was basically at the moment a midget in all but name and needed to grow the height he should have been had he eaten healthy. Naruto, when we are done here, you must travel to Wave Country to pick up some things that will assist you in our travels, said Zangetsu with his body behind Naruto to help the massive amount of chakra to flow without trouble. I understand, Zangetsu-sama, though at the rate I am growing I need new clothes, said Naruto, as he felt his body reach a new height of 5'4" rather than the 4 feet 8 inches that he originally was. You will have such items when this is over, but stay alert as I sense a squad of ANBU and the one you call Erosenin heading our way, said Zangetsu, slightly tired from giving the boy so much power just to be alive and change the boy for the better. Great. Just when things are looking up, I have the super pervert on my ass along with ANBU, who I bet wants to kill my ass whether Erosenin is with them or not. I guess when they saw the power you unleashed to help me, Tsunade had to go on the side of caution and send a team to investigate, and if need be destroy, said Naruto, finding that the same woman he brought back to Konoha to be the Hokage had most likely signed his death warrant with those ANBU. The irony of it all. Soon after a good 10 minutes the storm died down, and the Tower of Chakra was no more as it sank back into the sea and onto Naruto, changing its energy composition to become a set of clothing for him. It was all black with a reddish tint to it, with that same type of billowing cloak-like appearance Zangetsu now has with his. Just as his new clothing finished its manifestation on him, Zangetsu also retreated back to the seal to rest minutes before the ANBU and Jiraiya appeared dressed for battle, though Jiraiya himself looked the same as ever. Naruto? Said Jiraiya, motioning the ANBU squad to keep their distance so as to not piss the boy off. How are you, Erosenin? Still getting the crap kicked out of you by the old hag? Said Naruto, his eyes closed as he didn't need to open them just yet. Mind who you talk about, demon, said an ANBU of the group, only to get a glare from Jiraiya that told him to shut up, along with "you're going to get it later." I take it the council that opposes my very existence ordered them to come kill me? Are you here for that too, Erosenin? Was all that you trained me even for a little while just some form of humor for you to get your kicks off? Train the little Kyuubi brat for a little while, then ditch him when it is no longer funny? Use him as a running joke, then just backstab him to get back at the Kyuubi and me that helped kill the 4th Hokage, said Naruto venomously while frowning heavily with his eyes closed, feeling the depths of his anger awakening again as he spoke. Naruto isn't like that. I'm not your enemy and neither is Tsunade. She cares about you like the third did. Surely you see that? Right. said Jiraiya, hoping the boy would see the truth in his words. What are you wasting your time on for, Jiraiya-sama? It's clear by the boy's appearance that Kyuubi has taken over his mind and body. We need to kill him before he decides to attack us in the village, said another ANBU, reaching behind his back for his sword only to be stopped by the sudden pressure they all felt from Naruto's killer intent. Listen here, all of you dipshits, and that includes you too, Jiraiya-sama. I am not going to be your little punching bag anymore. Those days are over. From now on, this punching bag is going to do his own bit of punching, only this time I am to kill, said Naruto, as he opened his eyes, revealing cold red eyes that screamed pain for all that messed with the boy. Jiraiya took a step back, not wanting to feel the boy's wrath, or to at least prove to the boy that he didn't want to fight in any way. The ANBU, however, took the look from Naruto's eyes and his words as a means of aggression against the leaf. Kill the demon, said the leader of the ANBU before the group of 6 surrounded Naruto, who just stared at Jiraiya, not caring about the other. Tell that old hag and that damned council that every person she sends after me will die, and every time she does, this moment will be the end result if that happens, said a hate-filled Naruto, removing one slightly clawed-looking hand from his cloak and held it firmly above his head, open-palmed. Naruto, wait, said Jiraiya before leaping away as the ANBU just charged forward like the stupid idiots that they were. Demonic art, dome of devastation, said Naruto, as his eyes flashed red for an instant before he was covered in a dome of red chakra that was 20 feet in diameter, killing all in its path. The ANBU were easily disintegrated while Jiraiya got away with a few scorch marks on his white mane of hair. The dome lasted for about 5 minutes before Naruto retracted it into his palm and looked at the super pervert with hatred that had been bottled up for the 12 years of his life that he hid behind fake smiles and cheers. Naruto, don't do this. I was not sent here to kill you. I was here to convince you to come back to Konoha by Tsunade, said Jiraiya, looking at what had become of his student. Even if I did come back with you, I would be put on trial for hurting their all-precious Uchiha, and no doubt be executed or exiled because of it. Do you honestly think that I want to go back to being beaten up on my birthday? To be thrown out of shops, or to be charged 3 times the amount for something that has long been rusted or something edible that's expired? 60-year-old homeless people dying from cancer get more mercy than I do in Konoha, so don't go on about how there are people there that care for me, because they don't, said Naruto, sending a wave of chakra at Jiraiya, who was flown back several more feet. Naruto, you idiot, of course there are people who care about you. What about Rock Lee? He wants to fight you once he's healed. What about Hyuga Hinata? She basically in all senses of the word loves you, said Jiraiya, who would have said more, but stopped when he realized that Hinata was a taboo name as the ground beneath him started to shake and more hatred poured out of Naruto's eyes. Don't you think I know that? I know she cares about me, but I can't tell her how I feel about her since she'll be a target for being a demon lover. You think her own clan will protect her from the mobs that will form to cleanse her of my demon taint? Half the attacks on me were coordinated by that bastard clan, and when the old man promised me they would be punished, I believed him, but you know what? About 2 to 3 days after all the attacks, they were back on the streets, looking all smug at getting away and beating the crap out of me. You want to tell me Erosenin, who has that pull in the politics of Konoha, that has the strength enough to overturn the Hokage's decision? It doesn't take an idiot or a super pervert to know the truth behind what had happened in the days the Sandaime took office again, said Naruto as his chakra and zangetsu started to swirl around him as he got ready to leave this place. You know the council will send wave after wave of hunter ninja after you? Right. They will think the Kyuubi has influenced you to the point where you need to be killed, right? Said Jiraiya, wondering how the hell the third Hokage had let it go this far. Just tell her for every team she sends, have a good supply of body bags ready if I even decide to leave her with a body. Oh, and the name of my demon sensei is not Kyuubi, it's Zangetsu, said Naruto before the spinning chakra consumed him and left no trace of the boy or where he may have gone. Tsunade is going to kill me, said Jiraiya, shedding a tear before heading back to the Leaf Village, knowing that the next time that Naruto and him meet again, they would no longer be master and apprentice. They were going to be enemies that would have to fight to the death. Thanks for watching. I hope you had as much fun as I did putting this epic what if together. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a single twist in the story. Drop your thoughts, theories, or even wild ideas in the comments. I read every single one. And hey, if you're craving more awesome Naruto content, go check out the other videos on the channel. I've got plenty of heat waiting for you. Until next time, stay sharp, stay awesome, and remember, even a shadow clone